Alright, thank you very much. Hello everybody, it's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action doing what I do best and doing what I love. Watching movies and making the reviews. So what is the review we are doing today? Well, today it's time to take a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The reboot is back in action, and it's just not up to snuff. I miss the old days. I liked the old Turtles. Yes, these Turtles. They were fun to watch. It was a good story. It was good character development. And yet when it comes to the reboot, unfortunately, the reboot just didn't have it. Now, don't get me wrong. The reboot wanted to be its own thing. It wanted to be its own animal, and I respect that. It just didn't have the charm that the original one did, and that's the first thing that it was missing. The other thing was the Turtles just don't have the right look or feel to them. If anything, they're too rough around the edges. This is too dark. It's so funny. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was good, but it was considered too dark, and a lot of people wanted people to lighten it up, and they did. And that what brought it downhill. Here, they just started off way too dark. First off, you start off with the introduction. So of course, this is a new movie, and we gotta respect the fact that there are gonna be people who don't know what these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are about. So they're gonna have the new origin again. I swear, of all the reboots I've ever seen, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the one reboot that has changed the origins more than any other reboot. They've altered it so many times, just crazy. Now, and this one was harder to swallow. When I first saw the cartoon, yes, I did watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since the cartoon days, that one was acceptable. You started off, Splinter was a human, the Turtles were turtles, and the mutagen changed Splinter into a rat and the Turtles into humans because they hung around each other so much. It made sense, it worked. And because Splinter was a human, he was a ninja first. So he was able to teach them the ninjutsu that he had learned through his ages. Go to the second movie, now Splinter's a rat who learned ninjutsu by watching his master. And come here to this one, now they're laboratory animals and mistakes. They were almost aliens, and thank God for social uproar, they took away the alien aspect. Now that I think about it, it might have actually saved this movie a little bit, but it really couldn't do it. The dark tone was just too dark. The Foot Clan, no longer really ninjas, though technically they're supposed to be ninjas. They come off more like mercenaries. Oh, and by the way, now the Turtles are bulletproof. Not really sure how I felt about that, And also very indestructible and very strong, if not too strong. They've gave these guys way too much power, more power than they've ever had before. At least with the original Ninja Turtles, they were at least, somewhat vulnerable. Here, they're practically invulnerable to most things, to being thrown against walls at high speeds, to getting run over, to getting, shot at. And they're just too strong. Don't get me wrong, you can see those muscles on there. But yeah, I don't know, it was good, but it didn't fly. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an extraordinarily average movie. Okay? Now, they knew what they were going for, but they didn't have the proper flow to it. Like, first, the whole part was just about the Turtles meeting April. That was it. Megan Fox, not the best performance I've ever seen of her, but a pretty good performance. Again, very average. There were times when her lines were, you could tell she was just reading off a script. You think they just gave her the lines that day. It lacked emotion. It lacked, oomph, a je ne sais quoi, if you will. But these guys, they tried. They really tried. And if anyone tried the best, it was Mikey. Mikey tried the best to really be the comic relief, to be the guy who lightened up this dark atmosphere. Raphael, he made it way too dark. I thought for sure he was just going to kill somebody. I wouldn't be surprised if they had people on their pizza from now on. But when it came to Raphael, he was, and don't get me wrong, I miss him. They make him out to be the punk. But he used to be the sarcastic one. And I miss that about him. In the first original cartoon and even in the original movies, he was the sarcastic one, not the punk one, not the troubled child that we see all the time. Leonardo did a great job. Leonardo's the one who stayed the same throughout the whole thing, Though I don't understand what he's wearing in front of his chest or why he's wearing it. They never explained that. Donatello was the one they brought back closer to his roots. of being the nerd slash tinkerer, if not too far, because now he has to wear the thick glasses. At first that annoyed me, but I got used to it. Now, the ultimate problem with this movie was the way they handled the angst, the MacGuffin, the point of the movie, in other words. If you think about the book called Save the Cat, brilliant book, by the way, it was, what was the cat they needed saving? You know, what was the Foot Clan really trying to do? They gave you little tidbits, but it wasn't until the end that they really explained what they were doing. And it's like, great, we have another Mission Impossible 2 scenario back online. And it just didn't connect. The pieces didn't connect very well. And the flow was completely disjointed. You know, at first you have one plot point where they're trying to meet April and make friends with her and understand where they came from and everything. Then when they have to stop the Foot Clan, all of a sudden to stop them from destroying the city. And it's like this, it didn't flow properly. You know, there's a certain charm and, again, je ne sais quoi, I guess is the right word I'm looking for, that flows with it. And they didn't have this, you know. That said, I did not hate this. I enjoyed this. You know, they were building up to a pretty good climax. They could have done a better job, I think. It just didn't have the oomph that it could have had. Lighten it up a little bit. Work on the story and plot a little bit better. You've got something here. You know, people have loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for years now. So it's time to really start thinking about how you can keep this flow going. What does it get? It gets to decide. I can't give it a pass. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't a pass. It wasn't a, you know, I shouldn't say avoid it. I can't give you a see it because I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was great. You know, I didn't think it was good. It was just okay. Very average movie. If I were to do the rating scale that so many people do, I'd give it a C, just because it's incredibly average when it could have been awesome. And that's why I get to decide. Alright guys, that's it for me today. We'll see you at the theaters.